to Capitol Hill, where reaction's been pouring in after a major ruling for the Utah Supreme Court that could change the future of our congressional maps. Here with details, news specialist Lindsay Ertz. Lindsay, summarize this ruling for us.
Yeah, Deanie, well, it really is significant, really to address the power shift here from the Utah Legislature and citizen-led ballot initiatives. But essentially what this ruling does is say that the legislature can't overturn those citizen initiatives. However, they can alter them so long as it's in the government interest, and they alter those in the narrowest way possible. Now, the plaintiffs in this case are celebrating today's ruling, while the legislature called the ruling vague.
We feel this is a huge win for Utah voters. Voters in the state of Utah have a constitutionally enshrined right to reform our government, and we have a system of checks and balances in place to ensure that right.
I don't believe the legislature had an opportunity to overturn the will of the people simply because the Constitution directed us as a legislature to be in charge of redistricting.
Now, the plaintiffs here, who are the League of Women Voters, Mormon Women for Ethical Government, and some citizens, held a rally today saying they are confident that when this case goes to the lower courts, they will prevail. Now, ultimately, what this ruling today means is that the lower court will now decide whether the legislature, deciding to use its own redistricting maps, was overturning the will of the voters. And if it was, then those maps could be thrown out.
I think we'll get new congressional maps, not anytime soon, probably in time for the 2026 election, but you can bet that someone's going to challenge those.
Now, our KSL legal analyst there, Greg Skordas, also says that the Medicaid and medical marijuana initiatives from 2018 that the legislature also changed while those were created by ballot initiative are likely to get looked at. But this ruling dealt specifically with the right to alter or reform the government, which ultimately applies most to redistricting. Now, neither the House Speaker or Utah Senate President were available to go on camera today, but we did get a statement from them. It was a scathing statement. In fact, they called this the worst decision they've ever seen. Back to you.
All right, Lindsay, thank you very much for sorting that out for us. The Utah House Democratic leadership team today said in part that we commend the Utah Supreme Court's decision allowing the lower courts to proceed with the lawsuit challenging the legislature's redistricting boundaries. We urge the court to thoroughly examine the issues at hand and promptly resolve the case before the next election cycle.